Hello and welcome to the Rings. Hopefully you're joining us from the women's game, but if you're not, this is the debut for the Ringwood Hawks in the NBL1 competition, a doubleheader like we'll see all season. It's the Ringwood Hawks men up against the Basketball of Australia Centre of Excellence. My name is Matt Hickey and I'm joined by Russell Lee. Once again, Russell, it's a pleasure doing business with you as always.
Yes, Hickey, it's good to be back for game two, if you will, even though we haven't really gone anywhere. Exciting first game, Ringwood Hawks women, also playing Centre of Excellence, forcing to an overtime victory after the Hawks being down by 14 points during the third period. Excellent comeback and demolishing of the young crew. Likely tired from the night before as well in their doubleheader round one start to the NBL1 season. But yeah, really exciting action here at the Rings for this NBL1 2019 inaugural season.
Plenty of eyes on the Ringwood Hawks, of course the champions of the Big V last season. In fact, the past 3 seasons, not a bad record. Plenty of eyes on them to see just how the best of the Big V will do in this new competition that's predominantly it's got predominantly Siebel teams in it, so plenty of eyes on them, of course. Not many changes. The return of Adrian Sturt, the biggest, no doubt. A former Ringwood Hawk, of course, has had time with the Melbourne Tigers and time over in England. They're up against, well, the best youngsters from around the country, the Centre of Excellence, formerly known as the AIS. Now, this team got a win over Dandenong last night, 99-88, so they can put some points on the board. That's not a terrible team over there at Rangerland. Keep your eye on Alex Dukas. He is number 8, just 18 years of age, 18.7 rebounds, 3-7 from deep last night, as well as Kyle Bowen, 15 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. Kyle Bowen, number 11. Now, these two guys, both of them have signed letters of intent to St. Mary's, of course, a very happy hunting ground for all Australian basketballers. And both over 6'6", out of Western Australia, a pair to watch. That is Alex Dukas, number 8, and Kyle Bowen, number 11, for the Centre of Excellence. We're just about ready to get this game underway, about 30 seconds away from tip. Russell Lee, as I do to you every single game, whether you like it or not, I'm going to go to you for a tip in this one. You tip the Ringwood Hawks women. Actually, might start a tally here. Russell Lee's season tips. He's 1 from 1 to begin with. Russell, what are you going with in this this second game?
Look, I might surprise you, and actually, I'm going to go with Ringwood.
Oh.
Yeah, I think...
Interesting.
Even though the Centre of Excellence had some great form last night against a very young Dandenong roster, a lot of juniors that I know you're very familiar with, as am I, as the youth coach and under-20s coach here at the Hawks. Interesting by Darren Perry going with such a young roster. Impressive players, no doubt, but great win by CLE last night at Dandenong. But I just think the veterans of the Ringwood Hawks, the fact that they have been the benchmark of the Big V Championship Division for a number of years as we sit across from the banners here at the Rings, I think it's going to be a Ringwood ball game.
Tip off. Sean Clark a little bit too eager. Ball comes down. Pretty impressively well done from Alex Dukas. Came out of nowhere to get that one. Maybe took a few too many steps. But it's the Centre of Excellence who get us underway here on a cold, wet, windy night at the Rings. Luckily, we don't have to encounter any of that indoors. Here's Dukas on the wing, up against Gibson. Veteran import for the Ringwood Hawks. And Alex Dukas with a tough finish. Some good defense, but an excellent finish. And the Centre of Excellence draw first blood.
Yeah, really great drive under pressure. Ringwood Hawks now controlling the ball. Matthew Snow, veteran point guard and absolute club champion, looking after the offense tonight. And Joey Miller, new import here at the Hawks, able to connect on a triple to start off the Ringwood offensive barrage.
Watch out, they will live and die by that 3-ball, the Ringwood Hawks. Here's Dukas again. Sean Clark like an absolute brick wall. Good luck getting around that. Good take. Dukas is open on the wing. Nice up and under on Matty Fennell. There was a foul. And it'll be Kyle Bowen to the line for 2. And he put on a move on Matt Fennell that Matt Fennell, I think, did to at least, I'm going to say 30 people last season in the Big V. That up and under move under the basket, but it'll be 2 free throws for Kyle Bowen.
Yeah, great effort energy by the COA to begin with, crashing the offensive boards.
First is off. Second is good, and we have a tied ball game early in this one. Joey Miller bringing the ball up the floor for the Hawks. There's Jacob Gibson. Matthew Snow with the ball on the wing. Gibson was open there for a little bit. He was looking elsewhere. Inside ball for Sean Clark. Wasn't quite ready for it. Knocked away.
Nice feed there by Snowy, but yeah, as you say, Sean Clark wasn't expecting it. Opportunity here on the inbound. Great pass to Matty Fennell, able to finish. Just veteran spin to the baseline. Nice hook shot off the board.
One of the savviest plays you'll see around the rim, Matty Fennell. Almost impossible to guard, just always finds a way to flip it up and in. Now, Centre of Excellence are coached, of course, by Adam Capone, as former assistant coach at St. Mary's, and a former player for the Wollongong Hawks and the Perth Wildcats. Hard take, great steal, Matt Snow, great job, and he's coming down the court at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Great pass to Fennell, but a good block from, you guessed it, Alex Dukas. He's already had an impact early.
Yeah, Josh Coonan with the turnover there. The wily snowball and veteran snowball, that for that matter. Taking the ball off him. Hawks now able to set up some offense here.
There's a mismatch on the inside, but the pass was off. Sean Clark still gets it. Great pass to Gibson. Finish on the left hand. A smart play.
Good job of Sean Clark to reel that in. Again, he was unable to catch that pass. Very hard and fast coming into him. And Coonan responds at the other end, top of the key triple.
Once again, these Centre of Excellence teams, tough early in the season to get us scared on, but clearly Josh Coonan really comfortable shooting that. Miller, good pass out to Snow, out to Fennell. Great ball movement from the Hawks. And I tell you what, they pick up right from where they left off last season, jump out to a 10-6 lead, and boy, that's pretty offensive basketball from Ringwood. Good intensity in this game early. There's Coonan. That was a bit all too easy. And that's that inside-out play. He made that three earlier, so Sean Clark takes a step up. This time, Coonan cuts back door, gets an easy deuce.
Fennell going at Coonan again, and Fennell with nothing but class. Up and under. Coonan could do nothing more defensively. Just a veteran player. Far more skill. Unable to connect on that triple was Alex Dukas, but O-boards there for COE to go again. Isaiah Lee, I should say.
Thomas. Winding back the clock there. Been watching some bad boys in the 90s, Pistons basketball, 80s and 90s. Don't mind that from you, Russell.
Oh, I appreciate that.
It's not his name, but I like it.
Isaiah Lee, I think, can live with that too.
That's got to be a violation, and is. And now, back to Matty Fennell making these layups. You'll see it about 1,000 times, and we've seen it about 1,000 times, and it still doesn't get old, and you're still no less shocked whenever he does it. Somehow flips these up and in, and uses his body, contorts his body in the most miraculous and strangest ways, and somehow finds ways to put points on the board.
Changes to the COE here. We've got Francisco Farabella into the game, as well as Will Tattersall.
As we see Dukas knock down a three, he is a huge threat. Ringwood have to lock him down.
Joey Miller regrouping for the Hawks, guarded by that Will Tattersall, who has just checked into the game. Pick and roll situation, Sean Clark. Great help defence. Good dive by Sean Clark, good feed by the Hawks, but Sean Clark fouled airballing the attempt, and he will head to the line for 2 bonus. Adrian Sturt and Trev Latham at the bench looking to check in.
Adrian Sturt, a bit of a different big man to what Ringwood have known for the past couple of years with Latham and Clark, who are kind of two similar guys, absolute brick walls that throw their weight around, excellent touch around the rim. Adrian Sturt, lengthier, and a bit of a different look for them, but some good versatility as Sean Clark wills that one in, hits front rim, but rolls in anyway.
Yeah, as you mentioned, 2012, Adrian Sturt was a Ringwood Hawk, winning the Big V State Championship.
Was a key player in that win as well.
He, as you say, interesting big man because he is a dynamic player. Able to post up, but probably very well known for his long length defensively, and on that length able to knock down a triple. So very difficult to guard from the perimeter.
And interestingly, they moved him on to Alex Dukas, but Fennell straight back onto him. They look for the pick and roll. They go away from it. Dukas back door, switch again. Nice up fake, kick to the corner, left-handed three, no good. Coonan, big attempt to come out with it, but he couldn't quite get it. Good hustle, though. Coach loved to see that.
Absolutely. Good energy, hustling on those offensive rebounds. Nice little scare for our under-16 juniors who are...
light flash before their eyes right there.
Court sweepers is a very big and athletic Josh Coonan comes diving into them.
Adrian Sturt more than happy to bring the ball up the court. There's plenty of contact there. Sturt still with it. And he got the inbound pass. He didn't give it up. He bore plenty of contact and then finishes inside, draws a foul and one. Welcome back, Adrian Sturt.
Now, we talked about that length. Coonan did a pretty good job defending him as he drove baseline. But that length of Sturt able to get Coonan into a position where he's standing right on the rim and Sturt just leaning back, taking contact and going for an and one opportunity, which he makes. 17-11 in favour of the Hawks.
Here we go, 5:16, so we're almost halfway through the first quarter. 17-11, good start for the Hawks. Thought about the three, jab right, goes base. Good extra pass, here's Dukas, and that is an air ball. Good look though. Probably the extra pass may have been on, but shot clock winding down as we see Joey Miller step out.
Great ball movement by COA, you're right. Unfortunate air ball whereby...
Alex Dukas.
Dukas, thank you. We'll get to know them eventually. Bit of full court pressure here by COA.
Adrian Sturt probably saying, give me the ball again, fellas. I can take this coast to coast. It's an easy game when you do it like that. Gibson really been made to work. Handoff didn't really work. Now off to Sturt. Somehow gathers in. May have travelled off to Latham. Turnover. Here we go. Center of Excellence pushing the ball. Dukas, great pass on the inside. But a miss, a gimme from Kyle Bowen. Don't see that too often from him. Here's Snow. Look at the pass from Sturt. But he couldn't reel it in.
Too true. He's getting stuck into Adrian Sturt there, wanting him to run the floor a little bit harder. Had he done, that pass may have come off. I suppose Sturt lurking, he wants to catch in transition at that three-point line.
So an issue with the shot clock or the game clock, one of the two by the looks of things. Which allows the Centre of Excellence to get a substitution in. In comes King, just 16 years of age. And keep an eye out for him. He was dunking pretty impressively in the warm-ups. He was getting up. At 16, I think I was just happy to touch the net. But anyway.
We won't talk about your athletic prowess there, Hickey.
Wow. I mean, I'm more than happy to take it from myself, but...
Look, I'm pretty sure in the latter years of your youth career, I saw you dunk once or twice.
Would have been at least 3 times, but anybody. Anyway, not anybody. Anyway, once again, some clock issues as we... I'm harping on this, but surely we can move along in scoreboard technology, Russell. You're a science teacher. Surely you've seen something in your time. I'm not sure if that's really on the...
No, not
really on the books at Forest Hill.
Not in my job description, mate. No, not at all.
As we see a foul on the ball, sideline. 17-11, Ringwood Hawks have the lead. Just a little bit of a lull in this game. A little bit of the air sucked ahead of it with that stoppage. Let's see what the COE can do. Here's Bowen. Strong, looking strong with the ball. Faked into the screen. That's good defense from Gibson. Bowen again, kick to the wing. There's that left-hand triple. Again, no good. Good rebound on the inside from Hunter Goodrick. Gibson takes a knee. And there's the man. King comes in for his first touch of the game and goes bang with the triple. Cuts the lead in half. 17-14 Hawks lead.
Yeah, incredible energy and second chance opportunities for the COE.
Gibson for 3, left it short.
Snowy with the offensive rebound. Down to 10 seconds on the shot clock. He's directing traffic. Decides to take Will Tattersall on himself, and a nice little fadeaway in the paint. 19-14 in favour of the home Ringwood Hawks.
He was outmatched in height, but had the mismatch in terms of strength. Nice spin move from Bowen. Probably drew a foul, went in the up and under. Geez, they're fighting hard on the glass, but Trevor Latham comes home with a strong rebound.
Sturt low post. A lot of physicality being given to him by Goodrick. But Sturt again, that length, nice spin baseline, little bank shot. And it is Capehorn.
He's seen enough of that. Out. Seen enough of that. A bit too easy for Adrian Sturt and the Ringwood Hawks, piling on the points here in their first quarter of NBL1 basketball. They lead 21-14. And minimal rust for the Hawks. They pick up really where they left off. It's incredible how well this team works together, Russell Lee.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they've been an offensive juggernaut for a number of years, and as you mentioned earlier on in the piece, they can live and die by that three-point line, and it's no different. They've got an incredible amount of talent and experience to exploit. Really impressed by COE early, their effort and energy, especially down on their offensive end, to give themselves more than one opportunity is something the Ringwood Hawks are going to need to address. Really making sure they're blocking out not only inside the paint, but hard on the perimeter as well. So those perimeter rebounders don't provide opportunities for them to have more than one crack.
So far in the stats, sorry, I think I managed to jump in there just before you were about to do the exact same thing, Russell. 7 points to Matt Fennell. He's been very good early. Again, always finds a way to hit the board. Adrian Sturt with 5. For the COE, Alex Dukas with 5. We mentioned him before the game, and Coonan also with 5.
Spot on. It is Farabello running the point for the COE. Nice footwork there by Goodrick. A nice bank shot.
And that's a tough shot over a lengthy Adrian Sturt, as was mentioned.
That it is. 16-21. Still in favour of the Ringwood Hawks.
Gibson with a lot of contact. Getting held on to. No foul call. Sturt wants it again.
Nathan Truman now in the game for the Ringwood Hawks. Elite three-point shooter. Now with the club for many years.
Sturt in rhythm. Bang, bang, bang. Like he never left. And he's going to be a real weapon for the Ringwood Hawks, not only in this game, but across the season. There's Goodrick for 3. Doesn't go in, but he'll shoot all 3. No, it's a side ball, sorry. After he landed, side ball. So Joey Miller back on. Also on for the Centre of Excellence is Dennis. Off steps Tattersall. Huge crowd here for the Ringwood Hawks. Good to see. Opening game of this NBL1 season for the Hawks. Trevor Latham with the rebound. Here's Joey Miller. A bundle of energy, Miller.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's 100% though. He is part of his pre-season. He's had a groin injury. So I'm glad to see him on the floor, but I wonder how actually he is feeling at the moment.
Yeah, you could see him when he went off, was keeping it warm, jumping up and down, doing some stretches on the sideline. So something that looks to be in the back of his mind, and plenty of communication with the coaches as well during timeouts and while he's off the floor. So under 2 minutes left here in this first quarter, and the Ringwood Hawks up by 8 and have a chance to go out by 10 with Jacob Gibson at the line, and he just wills in the first one.
Incredible crowd here at the Rings tonight for this NBL1 2019 season opener. The Ringwood faithful, as Hickey's mentioned a number of times this evening throughout the calls, really getting behind this inaugural season for the Ringwood Hawks in an elite competition.
Finals-like crowd, that is for sure. Nice little double cross kick out. And 3 more points for King. He's come off the bench, has hit 2 triples. A great setup on that occasion from Farabello. And King makes sure he got all 3 of those. Truman, tough catch.
And looking
Great
for Sean
pass.
Clark.
And Sean Clark, soft touch, and he has a soft touch around the rim. Even when it's a little bit off, it finds a way to roll in because he's got that soft touch.
Let's keep looking at that matchup. There's a lot of physicality between Sean Clark and the big boys for COE. I wonder if the referees will allow that to continue throughout the game.
Here he is again. 3rd time's not a charm for King. Coonan was chasing the rebound. He's been active on the glass but couldn't get that one.
Again, those young kids sitting as our court sweepers have that life flash before their eyes once again. That hustle of Josh Coonan going after the ball. Love to see it, but maybe move, kids. Under a minute to go here in the first period for this round 1 opener here at the Rings.
Chance to push the lead out to double digits for the Ringwood Hawks. Miller drives right, no. Gibson goes left. Great take, got blocked though. How's that for defense from King? He is having a day out early in this one. 2 big triples and then a great defensive play against the Ringwood Hawks import. Sturt, fadeaway jumper, felt in rhythm, couldn't get it. Clark wheeled it in against 3 somehow. Sturt again, why not when you're shooting the way he is, but he couldn't get it to go. Will they hold it for 1? Let's see. King was open on the wing. He's got Sean Clark on him. They might look to that. Coonan, left hand, nice finish. Good take from Coonan on the left. Here we go. What can the Hawks do? 10 seconds left in the first quarter. Here's their new import, Joey Miller. Pick comes from Sturt. Nice little cross. Took the contact. Couldn't get it to go. 2, 1. Got to shoot. Got to shoot. I don't think they got it off. It almost went in. Isaiah Lee, or Thomas, as Russell prefers to call him. Couldn't quite make it. The Ringwood Hawks have a 7-point lead in this one, 28-21 after the first quarter. How have you seen it, Russell?
Look, great intensity from both teams. I think the class and the veteran capabilities of the Ringwood Hawks have outshone the young guys, although their effort and intensity at both ends of the floor has been impressive. We've talked about the fact that the Ringwood Hawks live and die by that 3-point line, but fair enough too when you've got the shooting capacities that they do across the board. 7-point deficit to begin the game, not surprising, but let's see what the young guns can do against this benchmark of the Big V for so long as the game rolls on.
And we know that the Centre of Excellence can play. They got that win last night against the Rangers. Once again, we'll see if fatigue plays a factor down the stretch. Anyways, let's look at some stats. Adrian Sturt leading the way for the Hawks. 8 points off the bench in just 6 minutes, 3 of 5 from the field. As I mentioned earlier, Matt Fennell, 7 points for him. Matthew Snow, already 4 assists. And once again, he'll be vying for that assist title in a new league. A bit more competition will be up against the likes of Shane McDonald from Nunawading, who's made a career of finding his teammates at a very, very high level. That'll be an exciting point guard battle when we see the Spectres take on the Hawks later in the season. For the Centre of Excellence, well, Alex Dukas, 5 quick points. Coonan's got 7. But the one I'm really interested in is King, 6 points in 4.5 minutes. A big block in there as well. He's an excitement machine at just 16 years of age.
How do you pronounce King's first name?
Could you not tell I was trying to actively avoid that, Russell?
That's why I'm putting you on the spot.
It's spelled Mojave, and I should have asked before the game. I think it's Mojave.
Yep, I'll go with that. Mojave. Let's go with it.
Apologies to the youngster and his family if I've stuffed that up, by the way. I'll make sure to get some clarification on that at some point.
We're almost underway here, second period. 28-21 in favour of the Ringwood Hawks. Ken Harrington going back to a starting lineup with Sturt in instead of Matthew Snow. Joey Miller will control the offence.
There's Sean Clark, not the greatest of passes. The battle on the floor is going to be with the center of excellence, and there's King. So King and Dukas in the game. Let's see how those two combine. They've been the best so far for the COE. Here is Dukas, headed to St. Mary's next year. Well, next year in terms of the college season. Here's King. Look at the elevation, and I spoke about that vertical leap. There looked to be a bit of hand on arm action there from Sturt, but he got away with it. Sean Clark doesn't mind shooting that three. That one's short, though.
Good pick-up offensive rebound there by Joey Miller. 10 seconds left on the 14-second shot clock. Pick and roll situation, but a deep triple by Joey. Probably not the best option.
It didn't look great out of the hand. Alex Dukas with a big rebound. Here comes the pick at the 45. Gives it down low to Bowen. Up to the top. Left-hand three is no good. Good rebound from Dukas. Sturt called for the foul. I think he got ball up top, but it was the push on the body. And it'll be 2 free throws for Alex Dukas as Matty Snow comes in and Adrian Sturt takes a break. He's got 2 personal fouls early.
So Dukas to the line. 28-21. Makes the first. Closing the deficit here.
I think we're going to have a game on our hands here, Russell. It's early days, but these two teams, I think, will be really bashing it out for the entire 40 minutes.
Don't doubt it. A lot to talk about in round one. Teams to assert themselves as teams to be reckoned with in a new league.
Yeah, so a lot of unknown, that is for sure. As is always for the centre of excellence, because their team changes so much year to year. Snow was open, but good pass. Miller, little baseline jumper. That's a gimme. Almost too close for him. Would probably prefer it a couple more metres outside. Good back cut. Great hands from Matt Snow. Really stopped that. That's a charge. You could see that one coming from a mile away. That great little 1%er there from Matt Snow. Saved 2 points because there was a backdoor cut. I believe it was Bowen going backdoor. That was wide open. He was going to get a gimme too. But good hands, good defensive position from Matt Snow. Stops the play, and then they get the ball back going the other way.
The confusion here by the officials around a sub. Ringwood had already inbounded the ball. We go again. Token full court pressure here by CLE. Just checking the game. Joshua Giddy. Melbourne Tiger Jr.
Son of the great?
I believe so, yes.
One of my all-time favourite Melbourne Tigers players. As we see, Gibson bangs down a three. Warwick Giddy was pivotal in the Tigers championships in 93 and 97. Despite not necessarily hitting the scoreboard as much as, say, an Andrew Gaze or Leonard Copley.
Great defensive rebound, strong by Jacob Gibson. He looks to push coast to coast. Unable to get something in transition, so he connects with Matthew Snow.
Good help from Giddy down low. The lob pass was in, but there was just too many hands. Cross court, here is Giddy. Goes hard left, nice bounce pass. Good take, and the 2 points goes in and one. Great ball movement. Goodrick was the one that finished, but it was a good dribble penetration from Josh Giddy. Smart little dish down to the baseline. It eventually found its way to Goodrick, and he'll go to the line to cap off what could be a three-point play.
Yeah, great transition push after the steal there by the CLE, and good ball movement. Offensive rebound.
Oh, and there was a big elbow in there. Goodrick draws it. Bit of push and shove between Sean Clark and Hunter Goodrick. It takes a brave man to go toe-to-toe in the low block with Sean Clark.
Sean Clark checking out now, second personal foul. Trev Latham back into the game. Inbound baseline, CLE.
So Sturt and Sean Clark both with 2 fouls. Let's just keep an eye on that as this game goes on. Here's Dukas, left hand, thought about it. Good defense, Trevor Latham. Waited for him to come down with the ball. He was yet to release it and didn't have to leave the ground to block that shot.
5 seconds left on the shot clock here.
Dukas wants it. That's a 2, deep 2, short. Left it really short. Here comes Joey Miller. Hawks by 6. Probably had a lane. Kicks it across. Just nothing on the pass. Dukas with the ball. Oh, and Miller almost had it. The shot's there if he wants it. Finally takes it. Isaiah Lee had enough time to think about it. Probably stop, prop, line it up, and easily drain that little mid-range jumper.
Yeah, I don't think Ken Harrington is too happy with his Ringwood Hawks at the moment. Look at a change coming in. Nathan Truman, I believe, for Joey Miller after that poor turnover in the last possession. Trev Latham blocked just there. Another stoppage for COE.
Dukas wants this matchup versus Matt Snow. Step back 3 and buries it. Timeout for Ken Harrington. No surprise there. Alex Dukas wanted that ball, got it, buried it, cut the lead to just 2 points. Watch out for the Centre of Excellence. If they get their tail up, they can pile on the points in a hurry.
No doubt about it. It's the way they're going about their basketball. It's defense has really stepped up a notch. Their intensity, the intensity with which they're playing, most notable. And Ringwood are just being errant with the ball. They're being careless. This is a very, very young team. Something they wouldn't be used to playing against in the Big V competition.
Just while we have the opportunity, if you want to join in on all the fun or look to get a shout or anything like that, hit us up on our social media, Ringwood Hawks Basketball Association on Facebook, and we are at Ringwood Hawks on Instagram. We'd love to have a chat to you on there. Feel free to join in and tell us your thoughts on this game and Ringwood's start to the NBL1 season.
Good spread of scoring here from the Ringwood Hawks. Sean Clark with 4, Matthew Fennell with 7, Jacob Gibson with 7, Joey Mill with 3, and Matthew Snow with 2, Adrian Sturt 8 off the bench. For the COE, Josh Kernan 7, he's taken a rest up until this point, but checking back into the game now. Alex Dukas now with 12 after nailing that triple. And Majave King 6 off the bench.
Very well said, by the way, Russell.
I take my lead from you, Hickey.
Here come Ringwood. Latham in the key for a long time. Got the shot up, buried it on the right hand. When a player gets that lower seal on you really have to fight over and try and front it, but Coonan couldn't quite get there. Trevor Latham, a veteran who's done that about 1,000,000 times in his career. Giddy, nice little hesitation, pull up on the mid-range. Here comes the pressure. I thought it was going to come from the Centre of Excellence, but they peel away. Bit of token pressure on the inbound. Truman kicks to Snow. Gibson coming off a double off-ball pick. Up fakes, goes left. There's a push-off. Dukas went down. Now, interestingly, I don't think that gets called if he doesn't fall over, as we saw a lot of those push-offs in that first game, the women's game. But nonetheless, it was most definitely there.
I couldn't agree more. It was definitely a push-off. I think the fact that he just slipped responding to that, not because he got full brunt of any sort of contact from Jacob Gibson. It was just he stepped back and slipped.
Jacob Gibson just saying almost exactly that. Maybe it was just a slip, but the push-off, the extended forearm looked to be there as our man Majave King steps back on the floor.
Great job by our under-16 2 floor sweepers. Their first opportunity to get some on-court action tonight.
Giddy looked for the right-hand floater, came up short. Here's Gibson. Kick to the wing, Truman. Back to the top, Snow. Look at the ball movement. Latham wants it inside. 2-3 zone here from the Centre of Excellence, which is a debatable choice considering the shooters that the Ringwood Hawks have. Truman gets his first good look but can't make it. Crowd just a little bit quiet now as the Centre of Excellence are coming back into this game. Here's King, great take, left hand finish. I thought he was going to throw that down for a second, but jabs right, goes hard left, and he is having some sort of game in this one.
Excellent choice there by King. Not to dunk it. I think is a temptation for lots of young players to go for the, I suppose, crowd pleaser, but I'd much rather the 2 points as a coach.
Spoken, yeah, like a true boring coach, and that looked like an ankle for Snowy, and he looks to be in a bit of pain. He stood on a foot by the looks of things. Yeah, he's badly hurt, and this is such a shame to see early in the season. He does walk himself off the floor, but he stood on a foot, and as most basketballers probably know, that is one painful thing to encounter.
Frustrating too, isn't it, Hickey? Because it is, again, just innocuous. It's just a misstep.
It is. It's no one's fault. It's one of those things that's just one of those real things that is a genuine shame in basketball. And as I said, most basketballers have probably encountered that rolled ankle at some point. Probably a good time to shout out our physios over there from Physica at Ringwood. Thank you for all their hard work as they are looking after our players. And at the moment, the right rolled ankle of Matt Snow. So the Centre of Excellence have a 1 point lead. It's 33-34. Here's King, right-hand floater. He was caught in no man's land there. Didn't know whether to go hard at the ring or pull up for the shot. And the end result was a missed shot that he probably should have made. Gibson takes some contact and one. There's the athleticism of Jacob Gibson. He has good hops on him and he floats in and rolls that one in off the glass.
Yeah, foul by number 9, Blake Jones, 17-year-old that's just checked into the game.
Good chance also now to shout out to the return of a familiar face around these traps. Mark Sutton is back coaching, assistant coaching at the Ringwood Hawks men, former youth league coach after working over in London, I believe.
Yes, he was.
For at least a year.
Just over, yep.
Good to see Sutto back on the sidelines as there we go. Mojave King, he is on fire right now.
I'm thinking, Hickey, you've got a new favourite player at the moment.
Lock it down, 100%. That's a nothing pass from Gibson.
Poor choices here offensively.
Here's King with the two-hand throwdown. He got upstairs and he's feeling it right now.
It's poor offensive turnovers there by the Hawks, but credit to the CLA lifting their defensive intensity. A nice open triple nailed there by Nathan Truman just to settle the ship. 39 apiece.
And a on-ball screen, but it was a illegal screen set by Coonan.
2:57 here in the second term remaining. Another change. Josh Coonan stepping out and Kyle Bowen stepping in. And a very quick shout out to Cole Bossenworth, assistant coach at under 20s and youth league level, who's just texted me saying that we sound quite professional, Hickey. So I appreciate that, Cole. Thank you for your contribution to the call tonight.
We haven't read out the other 20 messages that we've got sent saying we're terrible.
No, we just concentrate on the positive ones.
No.
As the Hawks nail another deep triple, 42-39, back in the lead. 2:31 remaining in the period.
3-point ball game. Just as the Centre of Excellence were getting a run on, the Ringwood Hawks back-to-back triples and take a 3-point lead. It's interesting. King has been on fire, makes a couple big shots, doesn't see the ball for the next 2 offensive possessions down the floor. And to me, that's just mismanagement out on the court. You've got to feed the hot hand. A guy like that is on fire. Either he's going to, as we see Gibson miss one underneath the basket, either he's going to get a good shot off, as we see he's about to now. 3 more. Somebody get on that man right there. As we see Ken Harrington call a timeout. He is on fire. And that's my point. Get him the ball. He's either going to get a good look and he's got the hot hand, or he's probably going to draw a double or a lot of the defensive interest and be able to find his teammates. As we see King on fire, ties this ball game. Now, just while we're getting these stats up, I've got something that I've received a message.
Yes.
And we're looking for a nickname for the Centre of Excellence. We're the Ringwood Hawks, for instance. You've got, the Kilsyth Cobras, Nuttall Spectres. I could go on. We need a nickname for the Centre of Excellence. So if you've got any ideas, send through to our social, Ringwood Hawks on Facebook, at Ringwood Hawks on Instagram. If you've got any ideas, please send through. We need a nickname for the Centre of Excellence.
Look, I've tried one. I'll throw it out there tonight. I don't know if you noticed, rather than COE, I just called them the Excellence.
It's interesting.
That's a nice way of saying you think it's rubbish. I appreciate that, Hickey. But
I tried to disguise it. I feel like that it's almost like you're calling someone your excellence. The excellent.
Look,
I can see where you're going, though.
That's fair. That's fair. Look, there's clearly got to be better options out there. So do hit us up on social media for an alternative, and we will absolutely call out the
suggestion I received was, for instance, like the Surf Life Saving or people who learn how to swim, the nippers.
Yeah, the young ones, the young lifesavers. The nippers. Okay, yep.
Centre of Excellence. The Centre of Excellence nippers.
Nippers. Okay.
It's probably not what I'm going for, but look, it's a suggestion's better than nothing.
That's very true. So Hawks regroup, 42, game tied, 1:45 remaining. Truman triple and nails it. So it's a battle from the deep at the moment. And Matt Hickey's Mojave King, 16 points in 9.5 minutes so far in this game. Someone to keep an eye on.
Get that man the ball. Here's Bowen. He wants to give him the ball. Gibson wearing him pretty tightly. That's a three-pointer. Nothing but net. We've got a shootout on our hands, ladies and gentlemen, as we see Farabello bury one from deep. We're looking at 100 points for both teams at this stage. Kick, great ball movement. Joey Miller, his foot was on the line too. Fennell somehow grabs the rebound. Now Latham, great hustle from the Ringwood Hawks. And in what's slightly worrying signs, Matt Snow's got the foot up, the shoe off, and when the shoe comes off, it normally means they're done, as we see Mojave King drop the 2 and 1. He'll go to the line and make it a three-point play.
Your boy up to 18 with a chance to go to 19 first half points.
It makes me hope that we're saying his name right, because we're saying it a lot.
Look, I think that we will be forgiven, given the way he's playing and the fact that he is now the talk of the town.
Showing him nothing but love. And for good reason. He is on fire. Don't know where the Centre of Excellence would be without him. And, of course, you build him up and you put the moz on him because he misses the free throw. 45 seconds left in the first half, 47 apiece. A serious game on our hands here as we see Joe Miller draw a foul, but it won't be the bonus yet. That was the foul to give for the COE.
I'll take responsibility for that one. I was... really getting stuck near Megan Mullings and her missed free throws in the women's match. So, look, I'll cop that. I'm sorry there, King. I've put the curse onto you.
As we see Trevor Latham back down, bury 2. Matt Roberts was on for the backdoor cut, but Latham kept the ball and made full use of it, putting them up by 2 points, 32 seconds left on the clock.
Good to see Matthew Roberts, Youth League young gun, making his debut at NBL1 level for season 2019. Joining him on the NBL1 roster, also from the youth competition, is young gun and team co-captain Cade Fidilani.
Good to see he's taken up the mantle.
He has, yeah. He's got big shoes to fill with the one and only Matt Hickey co-captaining the side last year. You'd be pleased to know he's doing a very good job leading the very young group this year so far. 32.7 seconds to go here in the first half. 49-47, Ringwood Hawks lead.
Sorry to interrupt. In big news, we've received a suggestion.
Excellent.
The Centre of Excellence Joeys.
The Joeys, again, referencing the fact that we're talking about the young guns.
And I like to know that the people out there are thinking. They're not just picking, for instance, the Sharks or something out of there. Actually, there's some thought being put into these. I don't mind this.
We'll throw another one at you. They are somewhat the boomers. They are Australia. What about the baby boomers?
No, but then you get into the generation, and it's just, baby boomers are, at least 40, 45 plus, aren't they?
Look, I don't know the exact age bracket, but it was a suggestion.
It was a suggestion. Wasn't a great one, but it was a suggestion.
Look, I'm full of poor suggestions.
I thought you were going to say something else then, but anyway.
No. Poor suggestions. I'm looking for our audience to come up with better things than I am right now. So, look, anything you come up with is clearly better than what we've been able to manage so far, in particular me. So, get on board and send us through your suggestions, please.
I don't mind Joey's. I feel like it could be already in use for some another team.
Possible.
Maybe one of the junior soccer teams might be the Joeys. But anyways, 10 seconds left in the first half. Here's Joey Miller. Trevor Latham goes to Matt Roberts. He's got 3. He's got to get a shot up. Goes to Latham. Nice play. The points will count. And good on you, Matt Roberts. Easy decision there to shoot the ball himself, but instead flips it to Trevor Latham, who buries it. And it is a 4-point ball game heading into the halftime break here at the Rings. And those wondering about Matt Snow, he has not got up to walk in with the rest of his teammates into the locker room because his ankle, he looks like he'll be out for the night, and we're not sure what the prognosis will be for the future, but disappointing for the veteran and disappointing for the Ringwood Hawks, such a key part of the team. Anyways, they've still got the lead, 51-47. It's been an excellent game, high scoring, and no doubt it will be high scoring as we continue and get down the stretch. Over there, Russell Lee, do you have some stats for us?
Sure do. Leading the way for the Ringwood Hawks, we have Matty Fennell, who's got 10, also shared Jacob Gibson, also 10. Nathan Sherman doing well off the bench with 6, as is Trevor Latham with 6, and Adrian Sturt with 8. For COE, we've talked about him a lot to begin the game. Alex Dukas with 12, and it's Matthew Hickey's boy, Majave King, 18 points, 7 of 10 from the field, 3 of 5 from deep, and 4 of 5 from the line. He is lighting up the Rings this evening. 18 points in only 10 minutes and 41 seconds. So keep an eye on him in the second half
as well. Keeping an eye on him for the remainder of his career at just 16 years old. How about that? What a performance from him. We're going to leave it there for the first half. We're going to take a short break, and we will see you back for the second half of what looks to be an exciting game here at the Rings.
Can you hear us, guys? Brian? Maybe not.
Hello and welcome back to the rings. If you're just joining us, it's the Ringwood Hawks men that have a 4-point lead over the Centre of Excellence. My name is Matt Hickey and I am joined by Russell Lee. We are in for the final half of this big-time doubleheader, the debut night for the Ringwood Hawks in the NBL1 competition. Centre of Excellence played last night over in Dandenong. Russ, what do you expect to see here in this second half?
Look, I think the same sort of energy that the CLA brought in the first half. Young guns, lots and lots of attempts for second chance opportunities, hustling on the board and defensively. No doubt going to be aspects of the game they want to continue. I think the Hawks will be looking to slow down their half-court offence and not keep throwing the ball away, battling the sort of defensive intensity that CLE are bringing. Both teams have done an incredible job offensively, as you mentioned, both potentially on track to score the ton. Yeah, it's exciting. It's all I can say. It's physical. It's intense. There's a lot of energy. Second half is going to be eye-opening, and whichever team can control the errors I suppose they're making are going to be able to get on top.
So we're about 20 seconds from the start of the second half. It's been action-packed, no doubt about that. Plenty of long-range shooting, which the fans love to see, and everyone here in this building has loved to see. The bit of a sour note, though, for the Ringwood Hawks is Matt Snow. He's rolled a right ankle, stepped on the foot of an opposition player while on a dribble drive, and has looked to have barely rolled that ankle. The shoe is off, the ice pack is on, so he looks to be done for the night. Let's hope he is not out for too long with that ankle injury.
Yeah, a quick shout out to Ellie Curlis, who's just messaged me as well saying that she's enjoying the live stream, Hickey. So that's now 2 people that are appreciating the work that we're doing and only 47 that think we're rubbish. So thanks very much, Ellie.
We've fudged that 47, by the way.
I just chose 47 because that's the CLE score. It was the first number I saw.
The mind works in such complex ways, Russell.
That it is. I couldn't be creative and come up with my own number. I just read one off the scoreboard.
Also, a quick shout out to a few of the Ringwood Hawks sponsors. Noel Jones, for instance, has been with the Hawks for a while. Physica, who are helping out with all the physio work. The Bendigo Bank in Ringwood. And we'll get around to a few more of them as we go through Optus Stud Park. Original Joe's, just to name a few. And
Ringwood Mazda, of course, a new one this year, and a beautiful CX-5 that our imports are driving. Thank you very much to them for coming on board in season 2019. Adrian Sturt, the low post entry, unable to connect on the first possession of the third period. And they missed Sean Clark there, was wide open for a couple of seconds inside the paint. Great spin move, tough left-hand finish, couldn't get it. Now they're fighting for the rebound between themselves. Here's Bowen, kicks over to the wing. That's Tattersall for 3, not much backspin. Dukas, and his toe was just on the line. Fair argument. He got a bit of a push in the back there as well. Referee not entering into a conversation. Still out of bounds. Ringwood ball. Might have to head down to Mazda and see if they can do me a deal. Look, if you've got your 2019 membership card, Hickey, which I am sure you do, I know the people at Ringwood Mazda will look after you. 395 Maroona Highway in Ringwood. Head down. Upgrade that vehicle of yours. Matty Fennell, unable to connect on a deep triple. Defensive rebound. Bowen, athletic down the field. Tattersall, the court. Finishes on the right hand. Cole Bowen gets the rebound coast to coast, finds his man, Tattersall, and they finish with 2. Here's Fennell. Looking for Sturt, couldn't find him. Good tip from Tattersall. Gibson couldn't get his hands on it, but it'll stay Ringwood ball. 11 on the shot clock. Inbound at half court. Joey Miller, guarded by Zaylee. Pick and roll situation. Fennell corner. Good seal, Sturt, and great finish. Awesome pass from deep in the short corner, triple by Matty Fennell to find Sturt. Easy 2 off the backboard. Good basketball there from the Ringwood Hawks. The lead is 4. Seesawing affair. Here's Bowen. He's looking energetic out of half-time. Good defense from Fennell. Great defense from Fennell.
Great defense from the Ringwood Hawks. Matty Fennell did well. Here's Gibson, left hand. 2-point, 6-point lead. Bowen pushed and pushed, couldn't finish. Sturt, good defense. There's a charge. It's a block.
The crowd doesn't like that, but although there was a lot of forward motion knocking Sturt to the ground, I don't know if he necessarily had position. We talk about these Joeys, if you will, the centre of excellence Joeys being so young, energetic, physical. And we've just had Hunter Goodrick drive hard to the bucket, simple as that.
They don't shy away from the physical nature of it, despite coming up against bodies that have been playing professional basketball for a long time.
These young guys need to be primed and ready to go, because this is the sort of toughness they will need playing collegiate basketball heading to the States.
Plenty of talk out on the floor here. This game really heating up, 55-51. The Hawks just holding them at arm's length. Here's Gibson, tough catch. Not the greatest shot. Fennell tried to tip it up and in. Probably should have come down with it.
See, we're really pushing the ball hard in transition. Isaiah Lee, tough shot in transition, high off the backboard, over the outstretched hands of Adrian Sturt. Fantastic finish. 55-53, deficit now at 2.
Just kissed it off the glass. Here's Miller. Here's Clark. Thought about the 3. Great pass to Gibson back door, and it'll stay Ringwood Hawks ball. Tattersall just got a finger in there.
9 seconds on the shot clock. Baseline inbound. Hawks setting up offense.
Got to get the ball in, they do. Clark guarded by Bowen. Gets the look, that's a foul, and one. Good play from Sean Clark. Good patience. Kyle Bowen is not pleased. Put the ball down firmly, to say the least. But the Ringwood Hawks, once again, just holding on to this slight advantage, continuing to find a way to keep their nose out in front as we see Sean Clark looking to complete the 3-point play. And he does.
58-53 now, Ringwood 5-point lead.
He's Goodrick, guarded by Sturt. Got a hand in there was Joey Miller. Gibson comes up with it along the ground. Shot clock hasn't reset, by the way. Now it does, so they probably get an extra few seconds in there for now. And one, and we've said it about 1,000 times. He continues to find a way to get the ball in the basket when all hope seems lost.
Matty's brother in the crowd getting very excited with that nice reverse layup. And I know Hickey can often talk from experience at training. Guarding that man as he's, I suppose, on a downhill run, LeBron style at the rim can be very, very difficult.
You think you've played excellent defence, and you've got him trapped underneath the ring, and he takes one step out, flicks it up over his head, and you think there is absolutely no way that he's going in the basket, and it does. And then you throw in the fact that he's a pretty decent shooter from distance, and he's got a very hard man to stop, Matt Fennell.
8-point lead now to Ringwood on that 3-point play.
This is a high-intensity game of basketball. Push in the back as we see Banjo Talbot in for his first minutes, but at least he's pushing hard on the glass. And he is long, Banjo Talbot. Just quietly, big fan of the name Banjo, by the way, as well. Not too many people out there that are named Banjo anymore.
No, I don't think it's a common name necessarily, but
just as a little side note. Anyways, the centre of excellence with a full court trap. The Ringwood Hawks easily navigate their way around it. Miller kicks over to Sturt. There's the 3-point look, and he buried it. Leaves the hand up there. And a timeout here from the centre of excellence. And it is the Ringwood Hawks who have pushed their lead out to double digits. It's 11 with 6:18 left in the third quarter.
Yeah, Ringwood able to go on a bit of a run there, doing a good job. Just settling offensively. If the push in transition isn't there, just getting the ball through some hands and getting the best shot option. They've done a good job attacking the paint as well, putting COE in a position where they've got to actually create some contact to cease scoring, but had some and one opportunities. COE are battled a little bit against the improved and increased intensity on defence by the Ringwood Hawks at the other end of the floor.
So the margin's starting to become a little bit worrying for Adam Capone and his Centre of Excellence team. As we've mentioned a number of times, if you haven't heard, we're taking submissions for a nickname for the Centre of Excellence. We've had Joey's, we've had Nippers, we've had, well, Russell, you've thrown up a couple of interesting ones.
Yeah, that I have. Let's not revisit them because they are fairly rubbish. We do want to hear from our audience.
And we're happy to take nicknames for the women's team as well. Although it could be one that's applicable across the board.
Look, couldn't agree more.
So, ball in now. 6:18, clock starts, 11-point lead, Ringwood Hawks, midway through the third quarter. Here's Dukas. He's been threatening all day. Behind the back, step back, left it short. Great rebound from Goodrick. He's been very active. Here's King. What a move. Probably deserved better. Took a lot of contact. But it's Sean Clark who comes down with the rebound.
Yeah, just settling offensively now. Spreading the floor. COE have gone to a zone here. It's a 2-3 zone. Joey Miller tries one at the top of the key, unable to connect.
That was deep. That was a step or two behind the three-point line. Once again, that 2-3 zone, interesting considering the shooting of the Hawks. Great defense from Fennell. Great defense from Paddy Fennell, but even better offense from Alex Dukas.
Yeah, nice high bank off the board on that dribble penetration into the paint. Jacob Gibson open.
Almost had too much time waiting there to think about it.
Yeah, unlike Jacob to miss one that obviously. Jave King unable to connect on that triple.
And an early second foul called on Banjo Talbot. But Manjave King, yeah, as you said, just taking a little bit more time to get going here in this second half. Once again, 2-2-1 trap here. Good pass to Sturt. Miller's there. There's Gibson. Could go back to Miller. Does. Now baseline Clark. Great pass. Great offense. That is clinical from the Ringwood Hawks. And Ken Harrington, who was shouting at his team to move the ball, they do exactly that. And he couldn't be more pleased.
Yeah, it's excellent. Got players on the Ringwood side moving without the ball. Absolutely key when you're playing against the zone, as Alex Dukas, top of the key triple. Just to quieten the crowd a little bit here.
Adrian Sturt, happy to bring the ball down the floor. That is a poor pass, though. Almost too casual. Dukas might think about pulling up for three. Hesitation, cross, good take to the ring, and Alex Dukas is feeling it here in the third quarter. He had a good night last night against the Dandenong Rangers. 18.7 rebounds, and he's going to back it up here against the Ringwood Hawks. Fennell's open in the corner. Instead, they go cross-court to Sturt. Kicks back to Miller. Right-hand three-pointer off. Good rebound, Sturt. Pop one to the head. Still have on the ball.
Jacob Gibson now deep, top of the key. Goes in and out. Loose ball. And Fennell doing a good job trying to cool down that offensive rebound, I should say. Spills out of court, Ringwood ball baseline. 14 on the clock.
Matt Fennell, 1v3 inside the paint there and still somehow wins the ball. We've got a timeout on the floor. And it is the Ringwood Hawks who lead by 6. They got out by 11, but Alex Dukas, a couple of nice baskets and brings it back to a 6-point ball game.
I think it's happened a couple of times now, although the energy and effort there by the COE has been incredible. There's definitely an element of the men versus the boys. Matthew Fennell, very big body, very strong body, almost got 3 players bouncing off him as he goes for the rebound and is able to come out on top.
So while we have the opportunity, we'll just mention a few more of our fantastic sponsors. Noel Jones, of course, Spalding. They are the ball supplier of the NBL1. Of course, none of this live stream would be possible without the help of Optus at Stud Park. Of course, our very own Luke Brody, team manager, and a familiar face to many Ringwood Hawks faithful. He's the man to see. He'll look after you if you head over there and let him know that you are from the Ringwood Hawks. That's Optus Stud Park, Shop 23. That's in the Stud Park Shopping Centre. Gym security, Gym's antennas. We've got Genesis Fitness. I'm a member down there. Look, not looking forward to going back, considering I haven't been there for 5 weeks. Enjoyed my holiday, but when I do, it'll be good fun. Great way to get a workout in at Genesis Fitness.
Ringwood ball baseline now, inbound, 14 second on the shot clock after the Matthew Fennell offensive rebound attempt, spilling out. And they've gone quick lob to Jacob Gibson in the middle of the key. We're seeing more and more of that, or we were last year and through the pre-season. Deficit back to 8.
Good Rick, good take, and a late foul call. It was there, and Trevor Latham acknowledged it. He said he definitely got him. So 2 free throws now for Goodrick.
Rotations coming. Kian Dennis coming in for CLE. Jarve King stepping out of the game.
So 2 free throws for Hunter Goodrick. And one sponsor that we forgot to mention, there's a few that we haven't mentioned yet, but we'll get round to. Original Joe's. Some of the best pizza you will get, and I tell you what, I am absolutely craving one right now, and I might have to just make a call on my way home. Back to the game anyway, enough of my my need for a pizza. I think the people have heard already far too much about that. 12 seconds left on the shot clock here for the Ringwood Hawks. Joey Miller looked for the pass, but it was excellent defense there from Farabello. Got a good hand in there, and it was smart defensive position. Here's Goodrick. Very active, the left-hander. Flicked it over somehow. Got it to Farabello. Now there's Goodrick, left-hand, and they just forgot about him. He got the ball off, they forgot about him, gets it back, finishes on the left, 4-point ball game.
Yeah, second chance opportunities there for the CLE. A 2-2-1 press again. They're just corralling the ball rather than putting lots and lots of pressure on, unfortunately.
That'll be free throws in the bonus, and that's a coach killer.
Defensive foul, Josh Coonan. That's his 4th, subbing out of the game. He was good to start. They'll need his production down the stretch if they're going to have a chance to roll the Ringwood Hawks on their home floor, sending Joey Miller to the line.
Always tough when you've got to deal with the monsters inside. Trevor Latham, Sean Clark, Adrian Sturt. And even if you're giving up a little bit of size, it's a tough task in there, and it's quite easy to start picking up fouls.
Connects on 2, 6-point ball game, 70-64, 3 minutes remaining here in the third period. Farabello doing the directing on the offensive end for the CLE.
Here's Giddy. Oh, good play. Crossed over, almost looked like he lost control of the ball, regains it, and then finishes on the right with a nice little step-through move.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. He's recovered from that very, very well. Fennell now, short corner, kicks it back to Truman. Already got a couple of triples in this game. Gibson at the top of the key. He's been great offensively. Now, entry pass again. A problem for the Ringwood Hawks. This time, fortunately, the Hawks are saved on the defensive foul for Trevor Latham, but they've got to be careful. Too predictable for these young guns from the COA to be able to pick off. At the line for 2.
We hope you are enjoying your night if you're tuning in and watching some high-quality basketball on your Saturday night. Just like a friend of mine, Michael Hooben, quick shout-out. He sent me through a message. Enjoying the broadcast. Thank you very much, Mr. Hooben.
Latham nails both. 6-point ball game once again. 2:27 remaining here in the third period.
Ball down low, Goodrick. He's been pretty deadly inside there, and that's that athleticism. Hangs and hits, and a bit of a fend off on Latham while he was in the air, but he gets away with it. 4-point ball game. Ringwood have the lead. This one looks like it is going to go down to the wire.
Joey Miller missing a gimme. Trev Latham offensive rebound, unable to get it back up. He's actually blocked. Giddy now in transition. Great pass, but deflected. Fennell with the steal. Truman running hard. Fennell to go all the way. Oh, errant pass to Truman on the perimeter, very high. And turnover for the Hawks. While we're doing shout-outs, a shout-out to families of our imports currently playing for the Hawks, watching from overseas. Any of our past imports too that are tuning in. Some absolutely great names to grace the club. And as we look around at the championship banners hanging from the rafters, great contributors to the Ringwood family over a number of years, as well as any families of players from the COE and travelling to Canberra for that opportunity, probably watching around the country. Hello to you. I hope you're enjoying the broadcast. The boys are doing well. Very, very competitive physical game in this NBL1 round opener.
Looking to go 2-0 for the weekend as well, which would be an excellent start for the centre of excellence as we see Banjo Talbot step in. Kyle Bowen takes a rest. And I echo your statement there, Russell. It's an absolute pleasure for anyone tuning in and having a look at some very high-quality basketball and some of the top players, not only in the state but across the country. Giddy working hard off the ball to get that. Here's Goodrick. Fakes the handoff, goes hard to his favoured left hand. Went all the way around to the opposite side of the key, but finished very, very well. And it's back to a 2-point ball game. And as I keep saying, Russell, we are going to go down to the wire in this one.
That we are. They've done a good job, the COA, finding the hot hand, and as have Ringwood.
And you could see assistant coach Michael Cassidy for the Centre of Excellence. He saw that play coming from a mile away. He's seen that one before, must have done his scouting as we see Goodrick, back rim, no good. He saw that play was coming. Matt Fennell, great catch, great pass, 2 points, timeout, Centre of Excellence. Under a minute left here in the third quarter. Matt Fennell pushes it out to 7, and it is the Centre of Excellence who are in a little bit of strife here in the third.
Looking at some stats, Hickey, we've got Ringwood Hawks just on that little mini run there. 2 points just moments ago, extended to 7. Jacob Gibson doing a little bit of everything for the Hawks, but he has 16 points, shooting 46% from the field. Matty Fennell just on that nice little cherry pick before and running hard in transition. I'm mistaken. The stats aren't updated as of yet, so I'm going to reassess. Jacob Gibson up to 19, Matthew Fennell up to 15 upon update. Adrian Sturt 13 and Trev Latham 10 from the bench. For COE, Alex Dukas is having another great game after really performing well in Dandenong last night. 17 points. Goodrick 14 to round out that starting lineup, and it's Majave King who absolutely killed it in the first half, but has not been a feature here in the third period as of yet. Hickey, can you predict, will he be someone to be reckoned with in that fourth? Can your man get the job done and get these guys into a winning position?
I mean, he wouldn't be my man if I didn't have faith in the great man. And now I'm backing him to definitely have an impact. Keep your eye out for Mr. King, as we see a baseline shot no good. That was from Blake Jones, who we haven't seen too much of here in this one, but not a bad look. There's Matt Fennell, pretty wide open 3, back rim. That would have been a big shot, would have pushed the lead out to 10. And that is good pressure from Jacob Gibson. 29 seconds, shot clock's at 12. It will reset to 24 though. They want 14, the refs.
Blinded Isaiah Lee there just enough. He was unable to catch the ball. It bounced off his forward outside court. Jacob Gibson inbound off to Truman. Unable to connect on the triple. Good rebound there by Banjo Talbot. They'll hold for the last possession. Shot clock, game clock differential less than a second. 77-70, Ringwood lead. 14 seconds remaining. Isaiah Lee.
Here we go, down to 8, 7, 6. No pick comes. He goes 1 out and draws 2. He will go to the line. Draws a foul, and he will go to the line to shoot 2, I should say, with 3.4 on the clock. Substitution on the floor Out goes Giddy, and in comes Dennis. Tattersall looking to come on for Lee if he makes the second. Geez, it's good to see this many left-handers out here, Russell.
Look,
it is good to see. The left-hander is well and truly alive. And
I'm glad you're enjoying that, Hickey.
And one of our very best is dominating in the NBA. Should win another MVP. Well, he'll go close anyway. I'm a fan of the Greek Freak.
Yes, he is an exciting player to watch. 3 seconds to go.
Shoot the ball, Latham. Shoot the ball, Latham. He didn't quite. And Joey Miller was the one looking for the pillar. Of course, I was talking about James Harden, if you didn't quite catch on to who I was alluding to.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said the Greek Freak. I apologise.
Yeah, I did, but that's the MVP discussion. But James Harden is the left-hander, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
I believe the great man is a lefty. Back to the rings as we enter three-quarter time, 77-72. It is the Ringwood Hawks who have the lead. Just 1 quarter left of what's been an exciting doubleheader here at the rings. And the Ringwood Hawks debut in this NBL1 competition. It's an exciting time for basketball in Victoria.
There's not a lot of the stats really separating these teams. Ringwood just edging out the centre of excellence in terms of field goal percentage. The board count, Ringwood just slightly ahead. It's anyone's game, despite the fact Ringwood have a 5-point lead at three-quarter time. Looking for each coach to make some adjustments here, both defensively and offensively, to really get their team, or to give their team an edge over this final term. Could we, Kiki, be in a position where we go another overtime period? Game 1, we saw that with the girls overcoming the COE after being as many as 14 down. Can the road COE Joeys force another turnover?
You're a fan of the Joeys, aren't you?
I'm just trying not to revisit my horrible suggestions. Although
the baby boomers.
The baby boomers and the excellence. Let's throw them all out there. Can they force an overtime situation?
The way this game is going, it is very well on the cards, no doubt about that. And we've spoken about them playing last night in Dandenong. Let's see if fatigue plays a factor down the stretch. Now, after this game is done next week, the Hawks travel all the way to play the Albury-Wodonga Bandits. That's Saturday night, and then they'll be back at the rings the following week, Sunday the 14th of April, against the Kilsyth Cobras, traditional rivals. But haven't got to play each other at the top level. Plenty of a rivalry in juniors, but of course, Kilsyth being a Siebel club. So that is on Sunday. That kicks off at noon, the women, and 2 p.m. the men. That is in a few weeks back at the rings, but next week they tape on the Bandits. And the great thing about this NBL1 competition is every game is a live stream. So even though the Hawks are a fair way away out in Albury-Wodonga, you can tune in online and watch them go about their stuff. But back to this game and what's in front of us now. 10 minutes left in this one, and it is the Ringwood Hawks by 5 points. The Ringwood Hawks bench actually having a laugh, and the coaching staff having a laugh because the ref seemingly missed a pretty blatant travel from Isaiah Lee. He jumped and then buried a 3. Lead at 2. Here's Gibson. That looks good out of the hand, and it's sweet.
Looks very good. We're in the perfect position, sitting right behind him. Nothing but net. So nice response there, the Isaiah Lee. Triple, travel or not. Back to a 5-point game.
He's good, Rick. Ball moving well. There's a 3. Back rim. It was flat. Goodrick again. Good hands. Nathan Truman. Here's Alex Dukas. Kicks out to the top. Same spot. Same shot. Definitely not the same result. But a rebound came up for Blake Jones, and now they'll reset again.
Coach Ken Harrington very displeased with the fact that the Hawks have allowed the COE a number of offensive rebounding opportunities.
Great rebound. Jacob Gibson got upstairs for that one and drew a foul.
He's heard the call of Ken Harrington, unhappy with his team, allowing all those O boards. And just comes through, splits the defending rebounders, and falls hard with the ball. Floor sweepers up and about again.
15 seconds of fame.
It's been the same young man every time. Good to know that his teammates are out there supporting him.
Tends to happen like that.
I hope you're getting all the cans of drink after the game. Don't give any of your teammates.
Oh, Dukas with the steal. Oh, and that's an unsportsmanlike foul to Gibson. And he did put his hand up and apologise immediately. Dukas wanted some action. I don't quite know why. He did grab on and the foul was called. Gibson apologised pretty much straight away and was holding on to him so he didn't go slamming into the back wall. Ref explaining that to him right now. And his teammates, Goodrick, came in from about a mile away and was ready to remonstrate, but all relaxed without much of a hitch.
So, yeah, poor backcourt turnover there by the Hawks, and good job to Alex Dukas for picking that off and taking advantage. But this will close it to a one-possession game, and they'll get the ball straight back.
Truman takes a rest. Matty Fennell back on the floor. And once again, the same court sweeper doing the action again. And he doesn't even get a seat. This is, I'm not sure if you can see that on your screen, ladies and gents, but there's three of them down there. The one doing all the work has been forced to stand, while the two others, he must have lost a bet.
Well, I do a bit of work with our under-16s, and I know their coach, David Edgar. Hopefully he's watching right now. We might have a bit of a chat about, the team commitment to this duty experience that they're giving tonight.
Share the load, friends. Share the load.
Some extra sprints tomorrow, please, Dave, with that young man. He's done all the heavy lifting, having a bit of a break and watching from the sideline while his teammates do it. Foot violation from the Hawks. COE will be able to inbound baseline.
Shot clock will reset from 4 back out to 14. Here's Dukas. Little hesitation, spin, cycle, blocked by Adrian Sturt. They're running Sturt and Sean Clark, the twin towers, out there in the middle at the same time. Ringwood Hawks still just holding on to the slim lead like they have all game long. Horns action. Fennell for three. He was ready as soon as he caught that in rhythm. And Matt Fennell can play ball. He is turning up here in this opener for the NBL1. The ball going through Dukas. He's pumping. He's feeling confident. Little hesitation. It was a double dribble. And Adrian Sturt letting him all know all about it. And he gets called for a technical foul. So there you go. Adrian Sturt did the job that he wanted to do. Just got into the mind of Alex Dukas. Alex Dukas staring back and then putting the ball forcibly on Sturt's chest. Dukas called for the technical foul, and bit of an experience there. He was shooting and playing well out there, and now he'll go to the bench taking a rest. Coach not overly pleased with that.
Yeah, not really sure what the beef was about. Unfortunate double dribble. He was making a good move for the bucket. Might have just been some words on the floor. As Jacob Gibson nails the first.
Bit of contact after the call, I think. There was a little bit of maybe a bit of a shoulder and then a bit of
a few
Sturt
words.
now having a laugh. I think he got the exact result that he was after.
All part of the learning experience of the game.
Alex Dukas has been playing very, very well. No doubt he'll come back on later down the stretch of this one. But the lead's out to 9, so worrying times now for the centre of excellence. Joey Miller, tough fall-away jumper. That never looked like going in. Goodrick tipped it back into Isaiah Lee.
Pushing hard, attacking Sturt in the lane. Oh, fantastic take. Just too quick, too aggressive for the Hawks to be able to respond. Takes the head contact, flips it up and in, and he'll go for an add one situation. Deficit, all of a sudden, we go from back to 7.
Impressive take from Isaiah Lee, no doubt about that. Was going to his preferred left hand and finished well. So here's some up-court pressure now. Lead is 7.
6.
It's slow on the scoreboard there, but we got there. Here's Joey Miller. Sean Clark wanting it down low against Goodrick. There's plenty of pushing and shoving. Bit of jersey grabbing going down low. Here's Gibson. No, it goes to Miller. Now out to Gibson. It was coming there eventually, and he's feeling it. He is really feeling it. He buries the 3 and pushes the lead back out to 9. Coonan didn't even look at the ring. Goodrick out to Tattersall. Here's King. Can he get back into that game? You betcha. I told he would, Russell Lee.
Oh, I didn't doubt you for a second, Hickey.
Majave King goes bang, and we've got a 6-point game. Back and forth, these two teams. Fennell out to Sturt. Fennell might look to post up here. He's got Isaiah Lee. That's deep from Gibson. He really is feeling it, but he left it short. That was a heat check. Coonan, and that was a foul. Sean Clark running. Coonan just stopped. A few words between Goodrick and Clark as we see Goodrick step out and Bowen come in.
88-82, Ringwood lead. 6:07 to go in this 4th period. Majave King the inbound for COE. Isaiah Lee now top of the key. What can they get going offensively? Well, Tattersall almost looked like he walked there. Adrian Sturt fouling. Isaiah Lee on the triple.
That's one of those occasions. And we've got a fan being thrown out. So the ref has had just about enough. And a Ringwood Hawks fan has been kicked out. It's one of those interesting calls there where the defensive play is clearly coming across and there's a bit of contact, but it's a very obvious kick out of the legs from the shooter. And a lot of the best shooters do it and get to the line to shoot 3, but who exactly is creating the contact, I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, interesting conversation, isn't it? You know, you even said at the elite level, obviously, NBA all the time, and players chatting to the officials in those situations, and lots of young kids watch that too, and they see that and replicate that. But I think the right call was made there. There was enough contact to send the player to the line, and Isaiah Lee's done a good job knocking down all 3 free throws. We now have a 3-point ball game, folks.
So just under 5 minutes and 45 seconds left in this one. Ball goes down to Sean Clark. He likes this matchup versus Bowen. It was short, ball loose, and here comes Isaiah Lee. He's very quick in transition. Here's Tattersall. Back out the lead, 3-pointer, kicked out the legs again. Couldn't get the foul this time. Sean Clark comes down with the rebound.
Yeah, Hawks just slowing down their offense here to get something really deliberate, which I like.
Trevor Latham getting ready to check in. Joey Miller clearly didn't read the scouting report too well. They went over the screen, but then just sagged off him a bit. They forgot that he is a knockdown shooter and doubles the lead. Now it's 6.
Fair gamble. He hasn't shot the ball incredibly well in this game.
King, not a great option, but almost buried it.
Fennell offensive rebounds, push the ball hard. Sturt now in a one-on-one against Coonan. He likes his chances, puts the ball to the floor all the way to the rim and is able to float it up and in. Nice finger roll.
Too much length, too much athleticism. Lead back out to 8. Ball out to Bowen, tipped out. And it'll be a baseline ball.
Yeah, nice pick and roll situation with a slip of the screen rather than actually hitting it for a Cole Bowen. If he caught that ball, it would have been a nice 2. But they get another opportunity. Isaiah Lee inbounding from the baseline. 18 on the shot clock. 93-85. Ringwood lead.
Farabello in for Tattersall. He's Coonan playing with 4 fouls, by the way. There's Farabello. Screen comes from Bowen at the top. Down to 10 seconds on the shot clock. He's got few options. Lee is feeling it. He's bouncy. Good take to the ring, but really nothing doing. He shot it directly up in the air.
Met a very big body in Trevor Latham, but unable to finish, as you say. Joey Miller now. Horns action at the top of the key here for Ringwood offense. Good show by Coonan.
Ball to Latham, and it came off COE hands. It'll stay with Ringwood. 10 seconds on the shot clock. 4:13 on the game clock. Are they going to look for that tip again? No. They go to Latham, had plenty of room. A play we've seen before, and we know all too well there. And a nice one for the Ringwood Hawks. The lead's out to 10, so double digits. Time against the centre of excellence here. Inside 4 minutes to play. Adrian Sturt moved on to King for that extra length. Coonan absorbs the push-off, chases the ball after he missed the shot, and now Ringwood can really control this game.
Yeah, again, I like the fact they're slowing this down. Really good job protecting their offensive rebounds, which COE have done a good job obtaining earlier on in the game. Good pick and roll situation. Trev Lee flashing the high post afterwards and able to get an opportunity to attack the rim, heading to the line as a result. Changes for COE, but have we got a timeout here? No.
So it looks like Banjo Talbot in as along with Josh Giddy. That was a great pass, by the way, from Joey Miller. Bounce pass, found his big man in the paint, and 2 free throws, a chance to push it out to possibly 12 points, which would almost do it for the centre of excellence. Although, with the way both teams have been shooting, it could tighten back up in a hurry.
Very true. Trev Latham hits the first 11-point ball game, 3:33 to go in the final term, and the second. So there's that 12 points Hickey talked about. Doubt creeps into the heads of the COE. As a result, I have no doubt they're going to have to hit some big shots and get some stops to try and close this out. And few possessions left.
Majave King and Alex Dukas both on the bench at the moment. Inside single digits. That is a deep shot from Lee. Back rim, great rebound, Trevor Latham, and drew a foul. That's Talbot's third. He's been fighting hard for the rebounds, but hasn't quite got the reward.
Now four fouls apiece for each team in this final term. So every subsequent foul now, they're heading to the line for bonus. So we'll play a key factor in the last 3 minutes of this period and the game. Again, slow, deliberate offense by the Hawks here. Horns, double high screen scenario. Miller baseline, left his feet, but able to find Jacob Gibson. Oh, nice. Flip up by Gibson, unable to connect, but falls. COE could have numbers here if they run hard.
That looked like a travel. Went a long way. That's a great pass. Good step through. Well played from Bowen. And we have a timeout on the floor. Ken Harrington thought that was a little too easy. He isn't comfortable with just the 10-point lead. It's 97-87. The home team, the Ringwood Hawks, have the advantage. 2:38 left in this one.
That they do. I just had some clarification. The young man that's been doing the floor sweeping, his name is Cameron Allen. So well done, Cameron. I've just also got information that he's actually injured and unable to play at the moment. So his teammates are not even letting their injured teammates sit down, let alone do all the heavy lifting. Rubbish.
I think that there needs to be a good sit-down team meeting, one of these real face-to-face, get it all out there. There's problems there, Russell. There's problems there.
As we say that, there's another young man out of camera view at the other end of the floor now doing some sweeping. So
I mean, it would be pretty harsh if the young man down the other end of the court have to make his way all the way down to the opposite baseline to do some sweeping.
Very, very true. Let's have a look at some stats rather than keep talking the rubbish that we are.
We're good at it, though, Russell.
We are. And I know the audience appreciates it. So 10-point lead to the Ringwood Hawks. Jacob Gibson now up to 27 points, 47% from the field. He is 4 of 11 from deep. Trev Latham doing a great job in the low post tonight, 14 points off the bench, as has Adrian Sturt, 15 points off the bench. Alex Dukas, 18. Isaiah Lee, 15. Goodrick, 14, and of course, Jarvane King, Hickey's man, 21 points off the bench. Full court pressure here now again by the COE. It's 2-2-1 full court press, dropping back into what looks like, it's a man. Not a zone situation.
More than happy just to hold on to the ball. Although there's 5 seconds on the shot clock. Miller, he's got to get something up. Gives it to Sturt. Not a bad option. Bang! Adrian Sturt has come back with a bang for the Ringwood Hawks. And that is the 100-point mark up for Ringwood. Three is very short. Latham gives it off to Sturt, who's happy to give it to the guard in Joey Miller. And at 13 points, this one looks almost sewn up. Let's see if the Centre of Excellence can do one last push. Good pressure, great pass. No, it wasn't. Fennell was on, but well read by Hunter Goodrick. Great baseline play to Bowen. He waited, probably could have given it off, but a smart decision made the basket back to 11 points.
Full court pressure again by COE, but good passing by the Hawks to overcome it very quickly. Now can settle 16 on their shot clock. Not phasing them because they want to hold on the ball as long as they can, except Jacob Gibson. Open triple, good offensive rebound, another 14. A bit of reaching there by Giddy, might also be a little bit of contact.
And there it is, and that'll be 2 free throws for Joey Miller. Substitution on the floor, Blake Jones in, Kyle Bowen steps out. Bowen had an up and down game, but has been pretty solid throughout. And it looks like we have seen probably the last of Alex Dukas and Majave King as well. It's off. Latham tips out to Sturt, and it'll be another possession for the Ringwood Hawks. Giddy made a big play at the ball then. There was maybe another foul there. Plenty of contact. Another reach around. This time he was successful. Left-hand finish. Good hang hit. Managed to make room for himself, and Hunter Goodrick makes 2. Leads back to 11. 45 seconds. Latham's there instead. Kicks it over to Fennell, and now they can take their time. Trevor Latham open, but even says, let's just relax. And that's a foul on Goodrick. It'll be 2 free throws. And a substitution on the floor. In steps Dennis, and out goes Hunter Goodrick. He's had a good stint in this one.
Jacob Gibson to the line for 2, 10-point ball game, 36.4 seconds remaining. Nails the first.
And I thought we were seeing the last of Majave King, but the great man has strode over to the bench, and we'll check in and hopefully provide another highlight for us to go home with in the last 36 seconds of this one.
There's another triple in him, and
a timeout on the floor now to the Centre of Excellence. And I'm going to throw something to you here, Russell. A lot of people around the NBL1 suggesting that Ringwood, although they're a great side in the Big V, might struggle to make the playoffs here in this one. They've taken care of business. In this one being this season. They've taken care of business here on opening night. Are they a team that maybe could be a bit of a dark horse to make their way into the playoffs?
Look, I think they can be a dark horse. I think it's a fair criticism that they're new kids on the block, along with the other 3 teams coming across from the Big V Championship division. But they do have an incredible amount of experience. They've got winning experience, but I think equally they're an ageing group, and they know that. So they're going to just play to their strengths. They're going to use the veteran capability, that I suppose offensive firepower they have from beyond the arc. And I know that one of their focus areas is improving the defence to ensure that they just don't have to outscore teams this year, which they have been known to do. They can just fill the bucket. There's no doubt about it. They actually have to do a bit more at each end and not rely on just one side of the one side of the coin, the basketball game that is a 2-sided coin.
I enjoyed the coin analogy.
I'm reaching. Inbound, Majave King.
It's getting close to bedtime, that's why.
That's very true.
Good hands from Adrian Sturt. He is a long man to stick there defending the inbound pass.
Majave King inbound, gets it straight back, looks to slash to the bucket. And that's the highlight Hickey was referring to.
Traditional 3-point play.
Outstretched layup, cops the contact on the outstretched hand and has an opportunity for an and one situation. 32.1 on the clock, 103.93, and knocks it down. Full court pressure here in a man by COE. Joey to Gibson. Touch foul there by number 9, Blake Jones. Will send Jacob Gibson to the line. Gibson could accrue a 30-point game if he knocks one of the next 2 down. He is currently 29 points, 4 rebounds, and there it is. It's a great NBL1 debut for him.
I shot the ball very well, but it hasn't necessarily been one specific stretch that he really exploded. He had a couple threes in a row, but it's been just accumulating points. And as you said, a 30-piece for Jacob Gibson. Mojave King, why not? Oh, he almost got it to roll in the way he's been shooting the ball tonight. Wouldn't have been surprised if that fell in, as we see Joey Miller. Jeez, he is quick. And now we'll hold the ball up, you'd expect, for the final whistle. And what a start for the Ringwood Hawks Basketball Association. NBL1 debut here at the Rings, and they take back-to-back wins. They take a win in the women's and in the men's. The result of this one, 105, the Ringwood Hawks to 94, the Centre of Excellence. A number of great performers, but an exciting battle nonetheless. Been a tough weekend for the Centre of Excellence. They managed to get a win. The men did anyway last night. Went down tonight, 2 losses for the women, but no doubt they will bounce back from that. Well, we are going to quickly wrap up this one before we leave you. It's been a fantastic night here at the Rings. There is no doubt about that. And as we mentioned, leading the way for the Ringwood Hawks was Jacob Gibson. 31 points, if you don't mind. Matty Fennell did what he always does. 18 points, a really efficient game, 5 rebounds. Joey Miller, well, he stepped up in the absence of Matt Snow, who went down with an ankle injury. Hopefully he's not out for too long. Joey Miller finished 9 points, but 11 assists, which was great numbers for him. Sean Clark, 7 points, was one of the other starters. Trevor Latham, 14 points off the bench, and Adrian Sturr in his return, 14 points and 11 rebounds, I should mention, for Trevor Latham. But Adrian Sturr, in his return to the Ringwood Hawks, had 18 points in 23 minutes. Russell, would you like to run us through the Centre of Excellence?
That I can, Hickey. We've talked about him a lot. Alex Dukas, 18 points in this one, 3 rebounds. Isaiah Lee did a great job late in the game. He scored 15 points. Goodrick, 16 points to round out the 3 of the 5 starters that really had top-notch games tonight. And then it was Mojave King off the bench, 24 points, 9 of 16 from the field, 56%, really getting the COE going and keeping him in the game, especially in that first half with the 19 that he had.
So there you have it, a fantastic night for the Ringwood Hawks. Thank you, Russell Lee, for joining me. It's an absolute pleasure as always, sir.
Yes, thank you, Hickey. You set a tone. There is no doubt about it. And whether I'm here next week or not, depending on my coaching schedule, I hope to be joining you at some point again during NBL1 season.
Sounds
2019.
Good to me. Thank you, everyone at home, for tuning in. Thank you for your viewership. We hope you had a good Saturday night. We'll leave you here and have a good Sunday tomorrow. Enjoy your weekend. It's been an absolute pleasure. And wrapping things up from the Rings in Ringwood.